You stand in the candlelit study of your master, who left an hour ago with no return promised. On the desk sits the chest he forbade you to open, and the candle he lit before leaving. When the candle gutters, the testing window closes. You have your staff, your magic, and what your hands can find in this room. The chest does not yield to ordinary force, and the inscriptions on the lock plate suggest the apprentice who opens it must do so in a way the master would approve. The study breathes candlelight across leather spines and scattered parchments. Your oak staff leans against the wall where you left it. The brass holder catches flame. The candle is maybe a handspan tall now, wax pooling fast. The apprentice's chest sits centered on the desk's far edge, brass bands gleaming dull. The lock plate is intricate. Runes spiral inward toward a keyhole that isn't quite a keyhole, more like a slot, deliberate and narrow. You lean closer. The inscriptions are old trade script mixed with symbols you recognize from your master's lessons. Spirals for becoming, angles for testing, a final glyph that means choice or consent. No key sits nearby, no obvious tool either. The candle hisses softly. A drop of wax slides down the holder's brass stem. The slot in the lock plate is just wide enough for something thin and pointed, or perhaps for something that shouldn't fit at all until magic decides otherwise. The chest doesn't budge under your hands. Its oak is solid, unyielding. No keyhole visible, only the lock plate. Brass spirals interlocking with symbols you recognize from your master's lessons. Runes of binding. You push harder. Nothing shifts. Your fingernails catch the seams. The lid refuses even a whisper of give. The candle flickers. Wax pools and drips onto the desk, pooling around the chest's base. Your magic stirs at the edge of your will. You could lift it, turn it, move it. But the master's words echo. The apprentice who opens it must do so in a way I would approve. Force isn't the way. The inscriptions demand something else. The lock plate's symbols catch the candlelight. Spirals matching spirals. You've seen similar patterns in the grimoire on the shelf. Ward locks. They don't open to strength. They open to understanding. The candle burns lower. Half its height remains. The lock plate gleams, waiting. One symbol on its face seems deeper than the others, worn smooth as if many fingers have traced it. Your hand rises toward the chest, fingers splaying. You feel the familiar pull of your magic, that current that lets you move what your body alone cannot. The brass lock plate glimmers in candlelight. You push intent into the mechanism, the spirals shimmer. For a heartbeat, something gives, a tumbler shifts, but the sensation snaps back like a rubber band. The lock plate grows warm under your focus, almost hot, and the magic recoils. It doesn't hurt. It simply refuses. The chest sits unmoved, untouched. The lock plate settles back to cool brass. The candle flickers. Its flame has shortened noticeably. Perhaps a third of its original height remains now. The wax pools and weeps. One of the worn smooth symbols on the lock plate catches your eye. It looks like it was once sharp, deliberately carved, now rubbed featureless by deliberate, repeated touch. Your oak staff rests against the wall where you left it. The lock plate catches the candlelight as you lean close. Brass spirals wind around its face in deliberate patterns. A maze, perhaps, or a map. 5 symbols are etched into the metal at cardinal points: a wand, a circle, a key, a flame, and a star. The wand symbol gleams sharply. The circle is half obscured by verdigris. The key sits pristine. The flame shows deep scoring, as if struck repeatedly. The 5th symbol, the star, is worn nearly smooth, its edges rounded by countless touches. Your fingers hover near the star. Something about its erasure feels intentional. A master's test for an apprentice might prize restraint, might demand you understand what not to reach for. The candle flickers. Wax slides down the brass holder. The worn star awaits your touch or your refusal. Your fingertip traces the star symbol, smoothed nearly featureless by years of touch. The brass is warm from the candle's heat. As your skin makes contact, the symbol gleams brighter, and you feel a subtle pull beneath your palm, as though the metal itself is drawing your attention downward into its geometry. The lock plate hums, a low, resonant vibration that travels up your arm. 3 of the other symbols, wand, circle, key, begin to glow faintly in sequence, then fade. Only the flame remains lit, pulsing in rhythm with the candle's flicker behind you. The chest does not open, but the lock has acknowledged you. The candle has burned lower, perhaps half remains now. The worn star beneath your fingers still radiates faint warmth. Your fingertip finds the brass key symbol. It's cold, deliberate under your skin, not worn smooth like the star, but sharp-edged and recessed. The moment you press it, a faint vibration hums through the lock plate. The brass spirals around the 5 symbols begin to rotate, grinding against each other in a deliberate sequence. Wand, circle, flame, star, key, the sequence completes. The lock plate clicks once, a decisive sound, but the chest remains sealed. The lock has reset itself to the starting position. The key symbol gleams dully where your hand still rests. The flame symbol pulses again with the candle's next flicker. Half the wax remains, but the wick is visibly shorter. The oak staff leans against the wall, untouched. The oak staff's end strikes the lock plate with a dull thunk. The brass spirals shudder but hold firm. You try again, harder, and the staff bounces back, vibrating in your grip. The lock does not yield. Worse, the candle flickers violently at the impact, as though the room itself flinched. When it steadies, you notice the flame symbol on the lock plate no longer pulses in rhythm with the candle's burn. It glows faintly, steadily, almost disapproving. The chest remains sealed. The lock plate's 5 symbols stare back. Wand, circle, key, flame, star. The star is worn smooth from long handling. Your fingers trace the wand etched into the brass, the same shape tattooed on your left shoulder. The candle burns lower. Perhaps half an hour remains. The moment you reach toward the lock with your will, intent shaping the air around your fingertips, the magic stops. It does not flow. It does not press. Your power, which moves objects, bends wood, lifts books, encounters something immovable, not a physical barrier, but a refusal at the root. The lock is allowed to resist you. This is the test. The brass spirals catch the candlelight as you withdraw. The flame symbol continues its faint glow, steady now. The star symbol, worn smooth beneath centuries of turning fingers, sits beside the wand. Your tattoo, warm against your left shoulder, pulses once. Your staff leans silent in the corner. The parchments on the desk rustle as the candle flickers, half its length remaining. The lock demands something else, not force, but understanding. Which symbol does an apprentice who wields magic turn? The flame symbol flares, then dims to a sullen red, refusing to go dark. Your magic presses against it like a hand on glass, but the symbol resists. It is not a living thing. It simply will not obey an apprentice's will to snuff it. The candle on the desk gutters lower. Wax pools, the flame symbol pulses once, weak but deliberate, as if mocking the attempt. Around it, the other four symbols remain inert. Wand, circle, key, star. The star is almost featureless from age or use. Your staff rests against the wall. The chest lid has not shifted. The candle flame flickers as you raise your hand. Your magic reaches toward it, intending to snuff it out. The flame resists. Your power meets the burning wick like pressing against glass. The magic does not flow through living fire. It slides away, seeking only what is inert. The candle continues to burn, indifferent to your will. The flame has burned lower still. Perhaps a quarter remains. The lock plate catches the dying candlelight. The five symbols gleam, the star worn nearly smooth from use, the flame still faintly luminous. Three others you have not yet examined closely. Your staff leans against the wall, solid wood within arm's reach. The chest waits. The flame dies under your breath. A soft exhale, smoke curling upward. Darkness swallows the study. For a heartbeat, nothing. Then the lock plate on the apprentice's chest begins to glow. Soft at first, then brighter. The five symbols ignite one by one in pale green light. The star pulses steady. The flame flares suddenly, brighter than before, casting sharp shadows across the desk. Three other symbols remain dark. A crescent moon, a circle, and a spiraling glyph you don't recognize. The brass spirals on the lock plate start to turn on their own. Clicking softly, they stop. The mechanism stills, the glow fades to a faint phosphorescence. The chest remains closed. But now you can feel something, a presence in the lock, waiting. Expectant. The master's words return, in a way the apprentice would approve. The candle is out, the testing window has closed, the chest's lock glows faintly in the darkness, waiting for understanding rather than force. Your staff leans silent against the wall. The parchments on the desk lie undisturbed. You unfold a parchment from the scattered heap on the desk. The paper is thick, creased from folding. Ink in your master's hand reads, "The chest opens only by will, not force." The lock knows 5 truths. Name them in order: star, flame, iron, mirror, seed, and it yields. Each symbol glows when its truth is spoken aloud. Speak falsely and the chest seals for a season. Below that, a second note in different handwriting, older, rougher. An apprentice cannot lie. This is the test. The star symbol on the lock plate pulses steadily, waiting. The flame symbol beside it has dimmed to a faint glow. You have time, but not much. The candle in the brass holder has burned low, its wax pooling. The parchment trembles slightly in your grip as you realize what your master has done. He's given you the words, but not their meaning. You must speak 5 truths to open it, and your nature demands honesty. The star symbol brightens, as if sensing your understanding. You speak the words clearly. Star, flame, iron, mirror, your voice steady in the candlelit dark. The lock plate flares. 4 of the 5 symbols ignite in sequence, each one blazing an answer to your voice. The 5th symbol, a mirror etched in brass, remains dark. The lock does not yield. The chest stays sealed. Your master's candle burns lower. Wax pools at the brass holder's base. The flame sways, half its original height now. The 4 glowing symbols fade, returning to their faint baseline pulse. The lock plate hums softly, waiting. You have spoken 4 truths the master would approve, but one symbol still demands its answer. The mirror symbol does not recognize what you offered. The parchments on the desk rustle faintly in the study's still air, as if disturbed by breath you did not take. The tattoo on your left shoulder, the wand, flares warm. You reach for the mirror symbol on the lock plate, but hesitate. The magic flows through you differently now. Not outward, inward. You speak the truth you've carried since you arrived. I cannot lie. The 4th symbol blazes gold. The 5th, the mirror, ignites in response, its light reflecting your own face back at you from the polished brass. For a moment, the glyph shows not a mirror, but you. Green eyes, auburn hair, the solid white tank top. The leather boots planted firm on the study floor. The lock plate chimes once. The chest's lid swings open on oiled hinges. Inside, a scroll sealed with wax, and beneath it a small iron key. The candle gutters lower, half its height consumed. Wax pools at the brass holder's rim.